How you doing, YouTube? Matt Massive Beer Reviews, back with a little bit of a other half up in this piece, in the form of their dank. Yeah, this be one of their HDHC series beers. This is an 8% alcohol by volume, high density hop charge Imperial India Pale Ale, courtesy of my boy Flash. See how this sucker plays. I've actually enjoyed the high density hop charge thing that other half's been doing. Kind of fun. They're not all hits. A little bit of miss, but fun nonetheless. Label-wise, it's kind of cool because it's honestly, I get it. You know, it's kind of, iridescent-y, kind of slightly kind of pattern-y kind of background that you expect from other half, but that big fat dank on the front there is a little bit of departure from what they typically do. So it's a little bit, just a little bit different, which is fun. Yeah, looks like a big old hazy. Actually, looks, I guess, appropriate 8%, maybe like 7 and change. Pinky finger just over, just off white, crumbly, creamy, soapy little top there, with a nice hazy, juicy kind of body to it. Let's get a nose. It's not a big beer, man. You're talking 8%. This comes off more like a 5 and change percent beer. The weird thing about this is there's this weird, not weird, but non-other half style kind of yeast phenolic going on here. And that it reminds me of Allagash, which is kind of fucking weird because last brewery I'd associate with other half would be Allagash. But there's this kind of soft, orchardy, kind of stone fruity, kind of citrus, but yeast phenolic coming off this for me. I'm sure it's a bit of the hops coming off in a certain way. I'm getting a sweet malt, but that's the way it comes off on the nose, which is pretty cool. It reminds me a lot of these kind of smaller-ish, kind of hazy-ish kind of beers that Allagash does in that kind of 4, 5, 6% range. Kind of weird, to be perfectly honest with you. Getting it from a beer like this, which smells nice. Dive in. Cheers. She kind of drinks like that, to be perfectly honest with you. I mean, there is this bittering, there is this dankiness, there is this rankiness that I don't really get from other half. And there's this kind of subtly weird, kind of hefty back end to this beer that definitely makes me not think of other half, or Allagash, because Allagash is all about that kind of dry, clean, crispy finish. It drinks way more like 5.5%, 6% than it does 8%. The hops come off in a very odd fashion. They're like more back-loaded on this than front-loaded, and that you don't get a huge impact as far as rankiness or juiciness up front. But once you swallow it, you start to get this kind of buildup of this kind of weedy, slightly danky, kind of over-ripened, but from concentrate kind of fruit juice on the back end. It's almost like a reverse IPA, and that it's giving you a lot of what you'd attribute to a new school kind of IPA at the end as opposed to the beginning, which is kind of how most of these work, but not in this like lingering bittering kind of format. It's just weird. It's kind of a reverse IPA. I really like it, actually. It's actually, every sip I take of it kind of makes me think a little bit more. Yeah, mouth feels nice. It does have that cool kind of green grassiness that I get from that HDHC thing. But again, more on the back end than on the front end. It's a weird one. It's a weird one, Mr. Grinch. But in a weird way, I kind of really dig it. Because it's showing me something I haven't had before in beer. That's kind of the whole point of beer half the time is one, taste good. It's the most important part. We want it to taste good. Two, probably number 2 for me personally would be ethically good. You know, be a good brewery. Don't be a douchebag. Don't support bad people. Do what you can for your community. And then number 3, keep me interested. And this is keep me interested. So I really like it. It's fun. It's unique, New York. And yeah, super glad I got to try it. Thank you very much, Flash Gordon. Call him Flash. His name's Gordon or Jeff, whichever one we'll call him. Anyway, so yeah, it's weird because I will start off immediately saying, is this one of the better Imperial IPAs I've had as of late? And that would be a flat out no. Is it one of the more interesting hop-forward beers that I've had as of late, it would be emphatically yes. Because just the way it presents its hops and that it kind of shows up in a reverse fashion, I don't know if that's on purpose or the way I'm perceiving things, but it's so backloaded with those flavors and things that you would expect up front that it kind of turns me on. What can I say? Vagged availability, it's the other half. It's one of these Imperial beers, $20, give or take, buck or two, brewery only. Leave you with, if you like what you like this beer, if you like new school hazies, and you like uniqueness, because that's where this beer is going to kind of pique your interest, I think, is that if you really dig on a lot of these beers, but you want something that's a little bit outside of the norm, then this one will hopefully do you proper. So there you go, another review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Down there if you want to talk about it. Massive Beers, if you want to check me out doing the social media stuff. Burps. Beer Massive for the podcasting thing. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully enjoying a little other half right now. Hope to see you next time. Cheers.